Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Grace. I'm the owner of Kilimanjaro Candles and more. And in today's video, I'm in my shop kitchen area because I'd like to show you how I make my beautifully scented candles, which smell really nice, and they're also good for the environment. And you can make these candles from the comfort of your own home as well. In today's video, I'll show you step by step how I make my candles. I will also be sharing lots of tips along the way, so you be sure to watch this video to the end. So the first thing you will need to choose is your wax. There's so many different types of waxes out there. For me, I started with soy wax. I changed from soy wax to rapeseed oil and coconut oil natural blend because it works better for me and because of other reasons as well. You might want to do a wide research on what waxes you want to use because there's so many different types of waxes. After you've decided what wax you want to use, you need to choose your fragrance. And I am using now this company which I'm really happy with. So today's candles, I'm going to be testing them because it's the first time I'm making them into a smaller candle. I usually have them in a bigger, in a 3-wick candle, but my customers or my stockists would like to sell them also as a smaller candle, so but I have to test them. So in case you would like to get my recipes, please comment down below because I spend a lot of time, money and material to test them. And if you like to see how I test my candles, we can test these candles. I'm making them today because, like we said, I'm making two white candles. It's a creamy fragrance, so I'm choosing to use white jars. So if you like to see me test these candles together, because I have to test each candle until it's finished, until I'm happy with the candle, how it burns, let me know in the comment section. So this could be our next video together. So many different companies out there selling fragrances. I tried quite a few and I'm happy with this company. Like all my fragrances, I'm so happy. The quality is just amazing. So you need to choose what fragrance you want to use. I think for your first time, if you're not trying to sell them or giving them away, it should be okay whichever fragrance or whichever company you like. The company you're buying the fragrances, they should tell you the maximum and the minimum you'll be using for candle, for reed diffuser, for wax melts and so forth. So make sure you read all those instructions before you make, because it can be dangerous to use too much or something like that. So if you want all this information, I can attach this information to my Patreon account, which the link will be down below. After you're happy with the fragrances you're using, you need to choose wicks. I don't want to say thousands, but there are so many different types of wicks and sizes and stuff like that. So for example, this wicks here, it's the same material like that. It's a different size. This is a smaller size compared to this one because I'll explain this later if you want to know later all these details. If I put the same percentage of fragrance and same grams of wax and I use different sizes of wicks, the candle's gonna perform differently. So you have to know. But if you're making it just for you or for a hobby at home, I don't think it's very important because, yeah, you're making it for yourself. But if you plan to sell these things or give as gifts, it's also important that you start testing because you don't want to give a dangerous candle to anybody. So using the wooden wick a lot because this is part of my favorite wicks. They do crackle like real fire, like when everything is nice and quiet, they actually do crackle. And so if you decide to use the wooden wicks, you will need to have, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, I don't know the name off my head, but you need to use that. That happens a lot. So that you can use it to secure your, your wooden wick to the container, just like that. And also, the next thing you need is the stickum. This is from the old company I used to use, and now I'm buying them. They come like this. There's also different sizes depending on the size of the jar. If I'm using my very small candles, use a smaller size. So these ones are just easy peel. You just attach it there. And then this one is just easy to peel. Oh, it's actually peeling all of it. Should not be doing that. So, there you go. It just peels off and then you attach this to your jar. The other thing you will need is a pitcher. I'm using these ones I bought from Amazon. If you don't have one, you can use any other container you have. Like for example, I have a plastic one I'm using for my scoopies. This one here I'm just about to show you. Sometimes I also use my Pyrex jug, but I find the stainless steel is the best for candle melting because it heats up very quickly. And you also need a pot if you're using a double boiler method. I do have a wax melter, but for the purpose of this video, I will show you the double boiler method, because as long as you're making candles for yourself and not planning to sell or giving away, you do not really need to invest in a wax melter. The other thing you will need is a candle vessel. There are so many different types. There's glass. I've used different types of glass here. I use the black and white one, and sometimes I have colorful ones and etched ones depending on the season. I also have different sizes. I also have tins. I introduced tins last year, November, Christmas time, and they sold really well. This one is at 250 grams. There's different shapes, different colors of tints as well. This is my first black I used to keep. I'm trying to decide between this one and the one I showed you earlier. Please comment down below which one is your favorite. I also have a black and white 3-wick jars like this, and also black one, which you will see eventually in this channel. So before I show you what other things you need for you to make your candle at home, let us measure the wax, because I'm at the shop only for a limited period of time and have to go home, so we need to make this candle before I go home. So let us now measure the wax for the 2 candles, 2 different jars and 2 different fragrances percentage. That means we have different grams to go into each candle. So let us start with candle number 1. Because of testing purpose, I'm not going to be labeling this candle as yet, like with a proper label. I'm just going to stick this one here so that I know which one I'm putting. Ooh. So I know which one I'm putting what percentage, and then with this other one the same. So that's done. The other thing you will need here is a type of scale. I'm using this scale. I'm actually really happy with this scale. This video is not sponsored, but I've used this scale for quite a long time now. I had one which had a guarantee for 2-3 years. It never worked as long as this one. So this one is my weight. This video is not sponsored, but because I like it, I'm just gonna share with you guys. So yeah, my weight, and this is how I'm gonna be measuring my wax. So using my picture, you can just place your picture there and then put this on, or you can actually put this on and then place your picture on there, and then you press tear, and this gives you 0. So now it's time to put in our wax. And the other thing you will need is a thermometer, which I tend to keep it in here. Using this one, Kitten Craft thermometer. It's also not sponsored, and I had to get one like pretty quickly from the shop down here. So I will then need to put it in here to regulate my wax and the temperature, because you should not like overcook your wax. While that is going, let's look at other things we need. The other thing you need is something to secure your wick once you have placed it into the jar. Like for example, like that. So I'm using these ones. I bought them from Amazon. I think they're called the wick. Place it in here. I'll show you once we are ready to do that job. And also, you can also use these ones here. I bought lots. I don't tend to use them because I wasn't like really happy, but I've seen so many people using them. You know, it's what works for you guys. So if this works for you, you use it. So you just put it there. Some people, I see people folding their wick like that. Ooh, folding their wick like that, and then it stays stable, because you don't want your wick, you know, when you pour, your wick is too close to your jar, because that's dangerous. It will overheat that side and the jar might crack depending on the quality of your jar. And also, if it's not centered, the candle starts to turn, which are things which we're gonna be discussing on this channel. So if you like this one, or if you do not have a sustainer, Can you see me? So if you do not have a sustainer or something like that, you can use how do you call it, like a lollipop stick, and then you can drill a hole in there. You know, a DIY, you can make a DIY one at home. You don't have to have one, but I bought this one again from the same candle company. It's so easy to use because it helps you to, you know, make sure your wick is centered, like we have just been talking about centering your wick. I'll show you how I use it in a minute. Another thing you will need is something to weigh your fragrance. Like I said, you can use any container. For this video, I'm gonna be using my Pyrex. Is it a Pyrex one? Anyway, I'm gonna be using this one and this tiny one. This is just a plastic cup we bought, I don't know, I think it was Germany, long time ago, and I use it when I'm just measuring something very small. You can use a cup. Sometimes I use old, you know, candle jars and stuff like that. So you can actually use anything, and because we need two different ones, two different percentages, so I'm going to be using this one today. And also you will need something to stir your fragrance and your wax together. So I've got this plastic spoons here, or silicone spoons. I've got 6 or 8 of them actually. I bought them as pair from Amazon. Attach the names down here because I really love these products and I love them. You might like them, and so I'm not gatekeeping where I'm buying my stuff. So you will need one of that. Because I'm using the same fragrance, I'm just going to be using one to stir. The other thing you might need is this one. This is a heat gun, which I normally don't use a lot on my candles, but some people like to warm their jars, you know, before they pour their candles. When your jar is warmer, you know, warmer outside, and you're pouring hot wax, it helps it to adhere properly. But I haven't had any problems with that. Sometimes I would get like sinkholes with my tins. I think because the tin is so light and so thin, the wax tends to cool down quite quickly. And if that's not the case, please let me know, because I'm just new to candle making. So that is what I've observed, and sometimes I use the heat gun for that. Otherwise I use the heat gun for cleaning my vessels and stuff like that. The wax is melting nicely. It's 68 degrees, which is good. And yeah, see, it's melted pretty quickly actually. So I'm going to reduce the heat. I don't like it when the water, we're reducing the heat, not adding. I don't like it when the water boils. I'm trying to weigh my fragrances now. So this is for candle number 1. So I better not confuse that. So cause I only want you, yeah. Cause I only want you, yeah. Cause I only want you, baby, yeah. I only want you, yeah, 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 yeah. Said you're working on yourself. Is she helping with that too? Now the temperature is a little bit too high for my liking. I'm gonna keep this on the side there to cool down a little bit more, and that is for that candle. This one is for candle number 2. Give it a minute, see if it cools down, and then we mix the fragrance. So I'm happy with this temperature now. Here I'm gonna mix my fragrance in. Make sure we get everything out of it. And this gives me enough time to stir this one for 2 minutes. So what is the time now? I'm just gonna keep stirring it.
Stay with it.
2 minutes to 3 minutes I think is enough time, depending on how much you have in here, because you want the wax and the wick, you want the wax and the fragrance to bind well, because then you get a good hot throw and also good cold throw for your candles. The same fragrance, I'm just gonna be using the same thing to stir. Now that we've finished with stirring, you wanna keep your candles to cool down, the wax, the mixture to cool down, because you don't want to pour it when it's too hot, because that will affect the end result of your candle. You might get sinkholes, so you have to wait for the temperature to cool down. And I always like to have like towel, kitchen towel, place it there and place all the jars there, because the worktop is very cold and you don't want the candle to cool down pretty quickly, because like I said, that will affect the end results of your candle. And you want nice looking candles, so I'm just going to leave them there until the temperature cools down, and then we can pour the candles. So this one has already cooled down, but the plastic one hasn't yet, so let's pour this one.
Stay with it. You don't need to water it down. No one else has the same story. Stay with it, please.
You want to get the most out of it. Every single drop has to go in there. Every single drop. And because I'm making more candles tomorrow with the same fragrance, but the bigger ones, I'm gonna keep the pictures. I'm not gonna clean them now, because I can use the same pictures tomorrow, which is a bonus. Last drop. There you go. So like you can see, nothing else. Just the right amount of wax in there, because you don't want the candle too full. When it comes to burning the candle, you want to have some space when it's all melted. And also, if some people use the lids, if you want to have a lid on your candle, you want to leave at least some space on it. So this is now ready. We are waiting for the plastic one to cool down a bit more, and then we pour that one. So we are here now ready to pour this one. This one is starting to solidify, if you can see that. Starting to turn nice and creamy now. This is our first candle. You can see it's already settled, and the other one as well. I'm gonna take this thing off. It's quite easy to take it off. You just, you know, push or pull back, push back that thing, and you just lift it up. So you see my candle is nice and silky and all nice, you know, adhered well, because I poured it at the right temperature. And let's see the other one. This one feels a little bit warm, but I think it's okay to, you know, cut the wick now, so we can do this and finish at this point. So you see I messed up there, but that doesn't really matter. You just pull back, and then this comes off quite easily. And also nice and smooth, no sinkholes or anything like that. So the other thing you need is something to trim your wick. There's so many ways you can trim your wick. I'm using my wick trimmer, which is like that. I love it so much. So the rule of thumb is to trim your wick 1/4 inch before each burn. Ooh, I messed up a little bit there, but that doesn't really matter. If you're so keen about it, you can use your heat gun. Trim this other one here. This is what guides me. You know where this thing was tight, you can see it's just up there, so I tend to cut it just where it was attached there, because I don't want to be measuring all the time, and it works perfect for me. If you make candles over time, you will find the right time or the right size for you to cut. And yeah, that's that. So my candles are ready, but not ready to be burned. Depending on the wax you're using, each company you buy the wax from, they should tell you the cure time for your wax. Mine is about 12 hours to 48 hours. I'm able to sell my candles or to buy my candles. Some of the wax you have to cure for 5 days, 2 weeks. Find out from the company you're buying from, because if you want something very quickly, you want some wax which cures pretty quickly. So the last part will be me putting labels on, but because this candle is for testing purpose, I'm not going to be putting any labels today. and I do not make my labels anymore. I have people who design my labels. This is the new labels they've done for me. I went to collect them yesterday. So yeah, I've got people who are designing my labels, and if you want to put label on your candle, then you can do that through Canva, and also label stickers from Amazon. And these are my new scoopies, which I've already introduced, and I'm going to be showing you soon. And so I wanted them to make labels for me. Let me just show you what I have from Amazon. Yeah, so this is you can get such labels from Amazon. You can print them. I use my laser printer at home, but I'm not really happy with my own labels. So if you're happy, a designer, you can do that. So it's for this service, because I'm really happy with this company. And yeah, so that's how my labels. These are not the labels for the candle. This will be this size. Let me show you. So the candle size will be this size for this jar, which is gonna just be nice. But because we are testing this candle, we do not need to put any label. I just need to write down the date and all the grams and everything I've put here, so I know all the details. So I'm just gonna write down the date, the time. If you want to see the boxes and how we box our candles, I've got a video which I'm going to touch down below, and you can see the quality of the boxes we use. But for now, that will be it, and I will see you in the next video. This brings us to the end of this video. If you learned something from this video, please comment down below. If you found this video educative and you'd like to see more of these videos about my business and candles and anything in between that we're making in this channel, kindly like, comment and subscribe. I can't wait to see you on the next video. Bye for now. Oh, and if you haven't watched other videos of our sanitary pads project in Kenya, and also why we started our business, check the link down below. I'll attach links down there. And if you like to support our girls in Kenya with sanitary pads, all the information will also be in the description box on our Patreon page. And also the recipes, if you like to get recipes from me, because each candle is different. Like I said, each fragrance is different. So I test. And because I've done the work for you, if you like to start a business and make your work a bit easier, you still have to test your candles wherever you make them from, because we are making them from different rooms, different climates also affect the way candles burn and things like that. It's just crazy. So if you like to see more of that, kindly let me know. I can't wait to grow with you. And thank you so much for people who have subscribed to our channel. If you haven't yet, kindly do so. Subscribe and like and comment and share with your friends. Thank you, and see you in the next one.